Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and to my 2021 in the bag video. Sorry it took me so long to get this out to you. Now, this video is only going to be about the discs that are in the bag, not about the AX4 bag itself. That and what accessories I have in my bag is going to be in a different video, so please be on the lookout for that. Let's go ahead and kick things off with the putting putters, because that's what everyone wants to see. I use a couple of the Glow Lunas from the 2020 Ledgestone run, and these things are so much softer and grippier than what I think are the very hard and slick regular stock runs, so I definitely prefer these. And honestly, for any putts within the circle up to about 35-36 feet, I know they're going to go absolutely dead straight, giving me so much confidence when putting. When it comes to throwing putters, I love the Luna as well, particularly the Jawbreaker. It's slowly beating into a nice turnover disc, but right now I use it primarily for straight tunnel shots and slight turnovers. And being in the Jawbreaker plastic, it gives me extra grip when it's wet out. Now, if I'm needing a Luna that's going to go straight and hyzer out every single time, I reach for the 2020 Tour Series. This one that I have is really nice and stable, so I know even if I throw it flat, I'm not going to be able to overpower it. It's still going to have a nice arcing hyzer line and a good finish. However, when the wind is up, I reach for the best approach putter in the game, and that is the Ringer GT in Z-Flex plastic. This thing is basically like a mini zone. It has the same resistance to the wind as a zone. It just doesn't have as harsh of a fade, and also it just kind of sits right where it hits, so you don't have to worry about it kind of kicking up and rolling or skipping far away. And speaking of the zone, I do carry one. I carried an X-Soft mainly because I use it a lot for putting in the wind, so it actually gives me really good grip as a putting putter. But additionally, it does resist the wind very well. Even though it's semi-lightweight, it's better for my arm speed. And also, it's broken in a little bit, so it'll hold straighter, but it still has enough stability to hold these really nice arcing hyzer lines. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at all the discs for the putters on the Lefty lines. Next up, we go to the mid-ranges, which I don't really have very many. Mid-ranges are not a big part of my game. Putters and fairway drivers definitely are. But when I need something that's going to hold straight down a tunnel longer than my Luna, I reach for the Buzz SS. Definitely something that has a very nice bit of glide to it, but again, it's used more for those long tunnels where I don't have a super high ceiling, but I still need to get a lot more distance than I can with a putter. And the 2019 Buzz SS is the perfect disc for that. If the wind is up a little bit, or I need a disc that's going to fly absolutely straight and then have a nice hard finish at the end, I am reaching for an ESP Buzz. These new ESP Buzzes have nice overstability to them, almost fly like a longer Buzz OS right out of the box, and they break in very nicely to just a really nice straight flyer that will keep that predictable fade for a long time. To complete the trifecta, the Buzz OS is the last mid-range in my bag, and this is coming out if the wind is very, very strong, usually if it's over 10-15 miles an hour and above. And it's a disc that I can really rip on, even throw on a slight anhyzer line, and it's going to hold at worst case extremely straight for a good period of time, and then have that nice, predictable, very hard finish on every single throw. Let's now take a look at the most important part of my game, and that is the fairway drivers, starting off with the Stratus. It's one of those kind of hybrid slow driver, fast mid-range, coming in at a speed 5. But it is a secret weapon for me in the woods, and something on a wooded course you'll see me throwing all over the place. It is absolutely magical for these tight wooded shots, big, nice controlled turnovers, but also put it on a little bit of a hyzer and it will ride absolutely dead straight for those pinpoint accurate shots. Next, we have the Extreme, and this is a pure utility disc in my bag. It is not used for any kind of distance. It's squarely for a get-out-of-jail-free card. If I'm pinched against something, I know exactly where it's going to go for really just touch approaches. Additionally, it makes a great thumber disc. It is very, very straight, so if I need to get up and over a bush or a tree, I am definitely reaching for the Extreme. Next, looking at probably the most understable of my long-distance fairway drivers, that is the Pipeline. If I need something to hold an anhyzer almost the whole way to the ground, this is what I'm using. Just huge, big flex shots. Not quite beaten enough, it'll still fight out towards the end, but that's still perfect for these slight flexes where I can just throw it flat, get really nice glidey turn, and a nice stable finish at the very end. Now, I do have one of the Matt Bell 2021 Tour Series pipelines, and it's pretty much for shots that is more straight to overstable, pretty much just a longer buzz. I can rip it as hard as I want, it's going to fly perfectly straight, unlike the other pipeline which gets a lot of turn, and will always have that nice predictable finish. However, if the wind is up, I am reaching for the 2021 Tour Series Paul Ulibarri Raptor. For medium slower arms, this is perfect for me because I can get a little bit of turn in the mid-flight. It's a little bit workable, but still nice and overstable, so reliable on forehand shots, but also for backhand. If I need a skip, this is the disc I'm going to reach for, as because on those spike angles, I know it's still going to get a good flare. If I'm needing both a backhand and forehand disc that's just a little bit longer than the Raptor, that's when I'm reaching for the Onyx. The Paul McBeth Onyx is exactly what I need for just kind of that more when the wind is up. Again, it's going to be a little bit straighter than the Raptor, fly a little bit further, have a little bit more glide, still have that really predictable finish though. It's not going to turn. Even in a wind for me, I don't have to worry about it completely turning over. It's just going to ride really straight, but then have a good hyzer finish. One of the surprise discs in my bag has to be the Z Avenger. It's a little bit on the lighter side, but it's still very overstable, at least at the end flight. For forehand, I like to use this for very effortless flex shots. It holds enough in the early and mid, but just workable enough, but it has that really nice late stability so I can trust and know where it's going to go every single time. It also has great utility, as the Avenger is one of the straightest forehand roller discs I have ever thrown. Last on the list is the distance drivers. Now, as a slower arm speed player, I don't throw too many distance drivers, but my most commonly used one and most trusty is the new Scorch. If you haven't tried one, you have to try the Scorch. It is, for us slower medium arms, just a very trustworthy, very straight distance driver that is going to have a nice predictable fade, getting a little bit of turn in the mid-flight. And on backhand, it is my max distance forehand, as I get these really nice sweeping turns, always will fade out the end, and with its glide, it goes for days. Now, when I need something that's going to just ride straight on forehand and then hyzer out, I am reaching for the Paul Macbeth Zeus. For my arm, these prototypes have a lot more stability than, say, the regular stock Zeuses, so I like to throw this out just really nice and hard. It can fly straight and then hyzer out, and also it holds up really well in the wind. So even in the wind, I don't have to worry about it fully turning over. I know it's going to fight its way out. Lastly, I do carry a force in the bag, even though I don't suggest that most slow arm players should throw a force. It's purely for utility, only when the wind is really, really up. Usually this comes out when the wind is over 20 miles an hour. That's really the only time I'll throw this, but it's primarily used for the same lines that I would be throwing the Zeus on. Alright, there you are, everybody. That is my 2021 in the bag. I hope you all enjoyed it and found it informative. Hopefully you saw a few discs that you never really thought of before that maybe you can give a try and will fit your game. Also, we have just officially crossed 4,000 subscribers, so thank you all so much. There will be another giveaway in the near future, and it is a whopper. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much to my sponsors, Riverside and Discraft. All of you at the community, thank you so much. Till next time, keep banging them chains.